I actually have an example for you. When I was in Prescott, roughly the same size as Burlington, had little old Yavapai College and Yavapai Medical Center. And Virginia Piper had one of her cronies, some lady named Carmen. All the texts are on my phones that you all have, that you all collected. Even if even if you let Park Ranger Preston take them and give them to Piper and whatever, we know the city, we know that the new mayor and Officer View and his sergeant got that shit, got those hard drives copied before anybody could destroy them. Point is, all those texts are still on those phones. Her name was Carmen, and she was good friends with Piper, and she was a cancer patient. And she was the only troll that they had, that Piper had in all of Prescott, embedded in the homeless community. And that was for a reason, because that community wouldn't tolerate that shit. Even though Goldwater's name was everywhere, it's just basic human decency not to fuck with anybody, much less a whistleblower or an autistic LGBT Native American whistleblower with cancer. I don't even have to, the fact that I have to explain that to the people of Vermont, it speaks volumes of just how fucking insane and out of touch this state is, the state's population is, regardless of your politics or how you vote. Anyway, Carmen, I had went into their emergency room and the doctor lied, falsified the records, and I got fucking risk management, the patient advocate down there. She didn't deny that it happened, but did nothing. So Carmen, and I looked sick. You could tell I was yellow. It was pretty obvious to anybody that I was sick because I was bloated. I had jaundice. I looked much worse than I do now. Could hear me struggling to breathe. So Carmen, I was, down on around the square, what they call Whiskey Row, which is their equivalent to Church Street. And she says, "Hey, I'll buy you lunch." And we went, she says, "Wherever you want to go." And I said, "Devils Pantry." You got to look at the menu. It's like the most decadent comfort food. It was like, oh, so good. So we go in there, and it's a relatively small place. And it was packed. We're sitting at a table. This bitch is trying to tell me that when I go into the ER, don't mention the fraud, don't mention, which is ultimately domestic violence and work comp. She was basically trying to intimidate me into going in there and not mentioning all of the violence that got me to where I was. She was basically just saying, well, just let them run their tests and see where they go. I said, how are they going to know what fucking test? I said, what's happening to me is criminal. It's domestic violence and it's work comp. I'm covered in work comp. All the other customers stopped eating and were glaring at her like, bitch, what the fuck are you doing? Trying to tell this lady what to tell the doctor and what not to tell the doctor. They knew. And I kept saying, what you're doing. I kept accusing Carmen of tampering. I was loud, just like I am right now. Carmen ended up running out of that motherfucker because all the other customers in there were disgusted with her. That's not how this state is. This state gets off on watching Virginia G. Piper, her pal Weinberger, and they jump in to help them kill me and anybody else they want to kill, up to and including your new mayor. You couldn't find anybody. You had to bring in somebody to set fire to Senator Sanders' office, because if you had somebody here do it, their own family would probably like lock them up or probably want to kill them. I'm just saying. The shit that goes on here wouldn't be tolerated in any other fucking community. There was a lot of tampering with my friends and neighbors in Missouri, but all of that was by the police. It was all the police or people like Nanette Ward, who was a former Fed, who was the co-founder of Stop Human Trafficking Coalition. It wasn't all of the staff at the restaurants and the staff at the grocery stores and the pharmacists and your whole fucking community is fucked. You couldn't pay me enough to stay in this motherfucker. There ain't enough money, there ain't enough tea in China to want to stay in this piece of shit state. Bernie Sanders isn't a native Vermonter, he's a fucking from Brooklyn. He married somebody from here. I don't know how else to explain it to you. This whole state has been so cliquey and so well off for so long, it just doesn't get what real community is. What true humanity and true connection to humanity is. You're too busy looking at people, how much money they make, what color are they homeless or not, or, you know, you've got all these filters, and you can't just look at somebody and go, oh, that's a human being, and have empathy and sympathy for them and compassion and want to connect with them just because they're human. You ain't interested in a motherfucker unless there's something in it for you. And that's the gay community. That's pretty much everybody. I don't know how else to help you understand how things are here. And the one thing my father taught me is don't bitch about something if you're not willing to get up off your ass and try to fix it. Don't bitch about how I do things if you're not willing to make the sacrifices you need to make to help me do what I need to do to help you. If you have to do one less fucking bougie ass coffee from fucking Starbucks, then you have one less bougie ass coffee from Starbucks. I shouldn't have to be sacrificing coffee or food or laundry or shower, or I have to do all the up to and including suffering cancer and renal failure and excruciating pain from standing on my feet for 4 fucking hours, and then I'm dancing back and forth like a fucking Irish jig because the pain is so fucking bad. You do it for the white guys that are stay cooked on smack all fucking day. You're willing to throw them $400 or $500 so they can keep them high, their girlfriends high, all their girlfriends. They usually have a harem because they make so much fucking money and have so much fucking dope. Or drunk. In Missouri, Arizona, and Florida, the minimum wage was less than $8 an hour. And the cost of living was just as expensive. Missouri wasn't quite as expensive, but So I'm going to have to just go underground. I'm going to have to do everything through AA, and I'm going to be very careful about it, and nobody's going to get any intimate information, because I know fucking Piper and Weinberg are going to send a bunch of people in there. They've already got a new guy out here trolling. He started on the bus. I'll let him keep running this mouth some more, and then I ain't taking no more pictures or videos, because I don't necessarily have to post it to YouTube. If I take the video or the photo, everybody's going to have it. Good guys and bad, so I'm done with that. I'm not saying I'm not going to help the investigation. I'm saying I can't. There ain't shit I can do. There ain't shit I can do when I ain't even got motherfucking bus fare. If I go to the library tomorrow and be in the fucking hole. If I go fly sign, I'm going to be in the fucking hole. And ain't no guarantee I'll make enough money to even get the fuck back.